What happens when a suburban newspaper company acts more like a media startup than a legacy publication? Today on E&P Reports, we're talking with Ben Weir, president and publisher of Current Publishing, a hyperlocal news group serving the Indianapolis suburbs with a bold mix of print tradition plus a heck of a lot of digital innovation. Ben, I am honored to have you on the show. Welcome, sir.
Mike, thanks so much. Appreciate being here.
Your background is like 30 years in this industry, right? You grew up next to press. I'm kidding. Ben, you've only been in this industry for less than 5 years. You come from a varied background. Is that correct?
Yeah, my background's mostly sales and marketing. No publishing whatsoever until joining our group.
And what were you drinking? I mean, think about it. With all the challenges in today's world, did you just feel the passion? What brought you into this industry, sir?
Yeah, I felt the passion of the community. I've always enjoyed networking. I've always enjoyed following, shopping local, buying local, everything related to community itself. So that's what was so attractive about, becoming a partner in this company. And I was actually a client of our group before I was a partner, and always enjoyed what they were doing and saw a huge bright side. They were already doing a great job, but saw a lot of things I thought we could kind of take into the next century.
Well, welcome to the tribe, sir. Under Ben's leadership, Current is doing things most community publishers simply talk about. We're talking sponsored SMS alerts, influencer style Instagram Reels. We're talking AI-enhanced marketing tools. And they're really having fun with the good old best of programs as well. If you're looking for real-world innovation that doesn't require a VC war chest, but still drives revenue and reach, you're going to want to stick around for this incredible episode of E&P Reports. Hang in there.
This episode of E&P Reports is sponsored by Elite Insights, the trusted partner behind some of the most successful best of campaigns in local media today. Elite Insights provides an easy-to-administer, self-serve platform that helps publishers generate new revenue, grow audience engagement, and capture valuable first-party data, all through the power of community recognition. Their software is designed specifically for local media companies, with user-friendly tools that make it simple to launch, promote, and monetize best-of contests year after year. Publishers love how quickly these programs deliver results, not just for their bottom line, but also for deepening relationships with readers and local businesses. Elite Insights believes in supporting local journalism through tools that actually work, one publisher partnership at a time. To learn more, visit eliteinsights.io. That's eliteinsights.io.
All right, Ben, for those of us that are unfamiliar with Current Publishing, give us the elevator pitch, give us the overview, and what is your mission? Tell us a little bit about the company.
Yeah, so we're a free research-backed newspaper. We have 7 editions and 7 affluent Northside communities: Carmel, Fishers, Geist, Noblesville, North Indy, Westfield, and Zionsville. Higher end households in the North Suburban area. We're direct mail, hit mailboxes every Tuesday. Cover a lot of city council, school board, seniors doing great things, students doing great things. That's a lot of what our content is.
Free, paid, but paywalls. What's your circulation or subscription strategy, sir?
Yeah, so we're slightly over 130,000 circulation in the 6 communities, 130,000 mailboxes. It's free, so
Yeah.
we direct mail every week into those households. No subscriptions. We deliver by text as well, which we obviously can talk about.
We will, yeah.
That's a subscriber list that you can join for free by just texting the word current to our phone number. We also have subscribers to our email product that goes out in the mornings. But all of those things, there's no paywalls behind any of it.
What attracted me to your company was you're doing some of the things we hear about at every conference, but never seem to turn the switch on, which is video and reels. I mean, was this like, how did you evolve into doing these influencer packages and the AI tools you employ? Could you give us a quick overview of that?
Yeah, I think, for months we watched our posts, some of the other media outlets in our area, and just watched how, little amount of engagement they got in comparison to some of the well-known local influencers, and kind of realized that, our community, the residents in it, trust the influencers, I think, more than the media outlets. And so we wanted to figure out how to spread, both our advertisers' messages as well as do some storytelling and have some more engagement. And so we had a long vetting process with a lot of different local influencers, ended up hiring a couple. We've been able to, generate revenue through it by partnering with companies and doing reels for grand openings for businesses, restaurants. We've also been able to, take some stories and do some storytelling by using the influencer, which have done quite well. So that's really where it all started.
And you must be seeing a younger audience through that. I mean, that's the
Uh,
dream when you start doing those forms of platforms, correct?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Much younger audience, much, hearing more comments on the streets when you're out. I mean,
Yeah.
people that, you just didn't hear from or talk to before.
Let's dive into what you mentioned too, a text-based distribution model. This is fascinating. You're using K-Launch to send sponsored digital editions via SMS. How did that come about? How did you start doing that?
Yeah, I think, for a long time we had an older audience, and a lot of them were snowbirds. They'd go to, Arizona, Florida. They leave Indiana for the winter, but they still wanted to keep up with what was going on hyperlocal. And we figured out a way to sponsor with K-Launch and deliver the digital edition by text every Tuesday, no different than they get in their mailbox on Tuesdays. And it caught on quite well. And now we have a lot of event-based advertisers that are, taking the sponsorship of the text program on Tuesdays and advertising event-based programs. We just had the Mika Motto auction and some other well-known, marathons and things like that have taken advantage of it.
What kind of, am I allowed to ask, what kind of subscriptions do you have for the text version? Can you give me some numbers? Am I allowed?
Yeah, a little over 10,200
Wow.
right now.
So basically, and you're getting good opens and engagement on those, correct? I mean,
Yeah, typically 65%.
you're having a text-based audience of over 10,000 with a 65%. This is amazing. A
Yeah,
65% engagement rate. And again,
it
that
is.
must be a younger audience, correct? I mean, it
It
has to
is.
because of the
Yeah, it
medium.
is. We've heard from some older people too that, appreciate having it, opening it from their iPads as they're on airplanes and different things like that. We've heard some pretty cool success stories from it.
All right, I got to circle back now because of this, world we have where sometimes, the journalism of the newsroom must be sacred and uninfluenced. How does your editorial team, how should I say this, feel about the influencers and like the meshing of those two types of content? Is it a good mix? Do you have does editorial get to have some say in what's going on? Can you just give us an overview of how you're playing that?
So from a advertiser standpoint, we keep it separate.
Okay.
Our account executives will, sell the reels, sell drone footage, sell stories, posts directly to clients, and then, we do those things separate of the newsroom. But the newsroom's really bought in because now they can do a story that's maybe tied to something that is tangible. Like we did a story on an abandoned historic house that was picked up and moved and set by the highway, and people drive by it every day and don't necessarily know what it is. And we turned it into a reel, and it's already had over 500,000 views. So, I think that we keep it separate, but we also include them, and we've gotten to share the stories they've done a lot more than maybe they would have gotten to do on only the print side.
Well, let's go back to the print side. um, print is not dead for you guys. I mean, even though you're innovating and sending your content in a myriad of different ways, there's still a pride in the print and how you deliver it and the advertisers' feelings about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we do a lot of like ROI meetings with our clients towards the end of scheduled runs, and we get to see in some cases their CRM data that they may provide, or totals of customers and revenue that they've brought in from the ads. And for the most part, I mean, we still see a lot of their revenue coming, 70% from print, 30% from the digital side. So I'd say that it's very much alive, particularly for the advertisers.
Do you find that by having this innovation going on, your advertisers don't hit you with even thoughts that, you're a stodgy old newspaper? When I do my speeches, I talk about one of the reasons we do vodcasts and do so much, innovation in our delivery is not because we're not proud of being a magazine. It just polishes the brand. It makes it more exciting to the readers and the advertisers. Is it similar for you? Is this helping you like a frontline modern news organization in the minds of the local business community?
Yeah, I think that, we still may carry that reputation with some people. And then there's other people that I think, are paying attention to some of the things that we're doing. And I think there's always going to be both, but we've definitely opened some eyes and gained some new audiences. I think that, on the client side or advertiser side, if they haven't seen some of these things that we're doing over the last couple of years and we show it to them, it's really fun. I mean, they get to see that the newspaper industry is changing and they like it.
Full disclosure, your name was brought to me by one of our advertisers and a brand new sponsor of E&P Reports, Elite Insights. And because we were just chatting, and he said, "There's this innovative company in suburban Indianapolis. You got to put on your show, Mike." And now I'm glad we did. But you have a best of program molded into your 2026 media kit, which you shared with me. But you just ran that good old fashioned best of that's been around for a while, and you did pretty well with it. Can you just talk about doing tried and true models like that? How did that work? Why did you do it? And what were the results you got?
Yeah, I think we were looking for kind of an instant spark with what we would see as a new group of advertisers, people that maybe we hadn't talked to before, and we thought that doing the best of with Elite Insights would be a way to open us up to some people that may be not familiar with us, and it certainly did that. And it definitely gave us a really nice spike in digital advertising. There's 3 or 4 phases over a 3-month period that we do with that program, and it's, I mean, our digital revenue for the months of January and February were 10 times what they were for those 2 months the previous year. So definitely think it was a huge win for us. And I think we learned a lot from it too. And I think next time around when we do it, it'll be even better.
All right, it's time for our final round of questions. Um, it's not. I want to first ask you this: with all the challenges the community publishers are facing today, what's the one innovation? If you can, think this through, one thing you've implemented, did you think other community publishers could adopt quickly and see instant results? What would that be if you had one thought you wanted to impart right now to help top line?
I would just say diversify the way you're communicating your news.
There you go.
I think a lot of people are doing print and they're doing, traditional social media posts or have a website, but taking it a step further and communicating by text, whether it be delivering your editions weekly or daily, or surveying your readers to see what you could do better as a company. There's a lot of things you can do with text. I think utilizing, email, text, AI, social media influencers, gives you an entirely new audience. I think all of those things combined are just diversifying the way that you're sending your message because you don't know how the person on the other end is consuming news.
But people hear that at conferences and still don't change. Was it hard? Or maybe because you came from outside the industry, you didn't see it as a hard lift to just simply start diversifying distribution. Am I right?
I think it's hard in the sense that if your team is used to doing something the same way for so long,
Right.
that part is hard. But I think implementing those things is much easier than people think. You just have to have the right partners.
Which just means looking, sharing. I mean, I'm a big believer in what you did. There's likely people in every community in this town that are amazingly good on those platforms and would kill to have the added benefit of, an extended audience. Am I right? It's a perfect symbiotic relationship.
Correct.
I mean, it's a win-win-win, and you don't have to hire someone from the outside. What you have to do is just adapt the newsroom to work in those frames. Do I have it right?
Yeah, you do. I mean, and just like going back to diversifying, I mean, there's other publishers, business publisher in our area that does a real nice job with having events and, generate quite a bit of revenue that way. And it just, if like any advice would be that. I mean, there's still plenty of things that are difficult in business, but, just use all your avenues to find your audience.
All right, let me flip the question now. What's the hardest lesson you've learned over the last 4 years and 10 months as you've modernized the operation there at Current?
Well, I think hiring on the sales or account executive side is becoming more and more difficult.
Yeah.
And I think that the way that you have to sell advertising and the way that people buy it is changing so fast. I mean, you know, it needs to be as streamlined as possible and made as easy as possible. A lot of the products, the products we sell online, like obituaries and legal ads and those things, people can just buy right on our website without talking to a human. And it's been a huge help for us. And I think continually trying to find ways to take the human element out of it is only going to benefit all of us.
All right, finally, you entered the space 4 years and 10 months ago, and it sounds like you're not regretting it. Where do you see the suburban newspaper space heading in the next 3 and 5 years? You see it growing or shrinking? Are you comfortable in the space you're in, and are you bullish on it?
Yeah, I think we're comfortable in the space we're in. I think, the biggest question mark is always postage, right? Like that's a big thing. And that's something that we as publishers can't control so much. So, what we can control is how we deliver the message. So the more ways we can get it out, the better. But we feel comfortable in our position. We think we can continue to grow the company like we've been able to the last few years. I think that the staying in our lane in the community is the most important thing too right now, and covering what we know is unique and that what people want to see in the area and not go outside of that. We don't need to be covering national news and even community-based things outside of where we are. And I think if we can continue to do that, we can all be successful.
Ben Weir, president and publisher of Current Publishing, a hyperlocal news group serving the Indianapolis suburbs. Ben, if anyone wants to reach out to you and learn more about the innovative ways you're distributing content and generating revenue, do you have an easy email address for people to say, hey?
Yeah, absolutely. It's ben@youarecurrent.com, and that's YOUARECURRENT.
Ben, I know you're a busy guy. Thanks for your time and thanks for sharing. We really
My pleasure. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.